Hello everyone, it's Ben here from Mariner Media, and in this video I just want to go through the main reasons why Facebook ad campaigns don't work, and also when you look at your campaigns, what is it you need to fix if it's not going particularly right. So I started this one a few days ago just as an example. I'm a spare ad account. So with this particular offer, it's basically for a subscription service, and the average spend for customers for this business is about £30 to £40. So first of all, when you're looking at your Facebook metrics, the only thing you really need to be concerned with, that there's so many metrics and so many tabs and everything going on. So you need to make sure that you know what to look at. And it comes down to really four main things. And absolutely number one, you really have to concentrate on, and don't let it sway you if that's right, which is your cost per result or your cost per purchase, your cost per acquisition, whatever it is that you're trying to get. You always, at the beginning of a campaign, always work out your numbers. So for me, I'm willing to pay up to 20 for this business. I'm willing to pay up to £25 per lead, per purchase for this product. As long as it's under that, then it's profitable. So I know that number. And so then at least you can look at that number and that cost per result. And the only thing that I really look at when I'm doing campaigns is I'll look directly at that and say, right, that cost per purchase is £8.85. That's fine. I can leave that. It doesn't really matter too much about the other metrics. Obviously, you can tweak and change the other metrics to bring that down a little bit. But as long as your cost per purchase is right, I wouldn't start messing around with the other things too heavily. However, so if you run a campaign and your cost per purchase, say you need it to be under, say, £15 or $15, and it's going 16, 17, 18, it's going over the maximum you're willing to spend, then you need to work out where it's going wrong and why. And the way you do that, there's three main kind of reasons that I found that Facebook campaigns will be super expensive. And let me just add also on here, let me just add one more metric quickly, so I can show you. There's one more actually important one. So there's four main important metrics. Let me just add in this one as well. I might explain what it is in a second. So first thing you have to look at on an ad is the CTR. So this is the click-through rate. This is the amount of people that are coming, they're clicking on the ad to come to the landing page that you're sending them to. The biggest thing I find people make a mistake with is say, oh, I've got like a 5% or I've got like a 6 or 8% click-through rate. But they're looking at the wrong metric. So there's two different types of click-through rate. This click-through rate is link click-through rate, which is the one you want to be looking at, because that's the people that have clicked on the link and gone to the page you want to send them to. However, click-through rate all is like anyone who clicked on the ad, like likes and comments and shares, enlarging the image, all that kind of stuff. So you've got to be super careful. Like, you don't look at this number, look at this one. And aiming sort of between 1% and 2% is okay. But you really want to be aiming between like 2% and 5%. But the average, you're sort of looking between 1% and 2%, you're normally okay. But I'll always aim to get it over 2%. So what you can see by this campaign, so I'll look at this and I'll say, right, okay, well, we can improve the ad creative. We'll try some different videos, try some different graphics, try some different copy, and then just slowly try and get this number over 2%, ideally sort of 2 to 3%. But obviously my cost per purchase is perfect for me, so I wouldn't mess around with that too much. So you're trying to mess through and change the click-through rate, but then you end up, doing something wrong. You end up switching something, messing with Facebook's learning phase, and then messing up your cost per acquisition. So I wouldn't do this immediately. If everything's going fine, I wouldn't then jump in and just start changing things. I'd only do this if my costs started to go up, and I was like, right, I need to start to optimize it and do some stuff to bring that cost down again. But if it's running perfectly, it's normally better just to leave it, and then we've got enough data you can start to tweak. So look at this. Link click-through rate is the most important one. Then the next thing that something is missed a lot is landing page views versus link clicks. Because sometimes what you'll find is that you'll have like 1,000 link clicks but only 500 page views. And so, right, that means either the ad is completely irrelevant to what you've sent them to, or your page is loading really slowly. And that just creates a bad experience for Facebook, and Facebook will charge you a lot more for those ads, because obviously it doesn't want bad quality experiences for its users where they go over to your website and it doesn't load and it's just, it's a bit rubbish. So you just got to check that your website is loading right, and then it's loading quickly, and also it's very relevant to the ad. And you can see here that's a very normal kind of comparison. So 1,091 link clicks, and then so maybe 150 of those have dropped off before they've looked through the page. So that's a good rate. However, I could make that even better. Like we could speed up the website a little bit more, and all that kind of stuff. So, but that's a good. I'm happy with that kind of level, because naturally people will drop off. But you just got to make sure that you've got the best experience possible you can have to get as many people that have clicked on the link that you're paying for to actually look and read your page. So that's the other thing. The third important thing is conversion rate. So obviously there's 3 steps to this. So people clicking on the ad, if they don't click on the ad, then there's something wrong with the ad. If they're not landing on the page, they're clicking on the ad but not landing on the page, then there's something wrong with the loading of the page or the relevance of the page. If their conversion rate is low, then there's something wrong with the landing page. So the way you'd work out if your landing page is converting well would be to compare. Okay, so 40 website purchases for just under 1,000 landing page views. So let's say that's a conversion rate of just over 4%, which I'm happy with. Like I'm happy with a 4% conversion rate. I normally say 2% and above is okay. I've had landing pages that have converted 8% to 10%. But it just depends on the product as well, like the price point and everything. But 4% is fine. I'm happy with that. And also 37p per landing page view is good. The last metric that I look at as well, but this is something that changes with every industry. However, in certain situations, the cost, the CPM, which is a cost per 1,000 impressions, so the cost per every time Facebook is shown to 1,000 people, will vary on audience, on country. But there's kind of a limit to if there's something wrong with the ad, it will then push that up, unnaturally. And you can kind of say if that goes over, say, 20 pounds, or if you're, let's say, so it goes 20 pounds, or it goes over 20 pounds or over $30, that's too high. That's way too high. So I do obviously do the conversion, but over sort of 25 pounds is my absolute max. Depends on what I'm selling. If it's still profitable, then it depends on, if you're selling say laptops or whatever, it's for, people that are ready to buy laptops and it's an engaged audience, then, you have to work it depending on, the audience. However, anything that starts to get close to 20 pounds, 25, I'm there's something wrong with that. So that there, 588 per 1,000 impressions, I'm completely happy with that. That's fine. That's a good level. So those are the metrics you need to look at. I wouldn't worry. There's hundreds of things you can look at, but the most important one is always going to be your cost per result. And then if that's not right, cost per result, it's there. And if that's not right, you then need to go across your other metrics and start to break down, okay, what point of the funnel, because there's no point just changing everything. It might just be one little thing, maybe the page loading speed, maybe it's just engaging them with the ads, maybe you just change a photo for a video, all that kind of stuff. So there might be one particular thing, and that's how to find out which stage it is that's wrong. That's obviously, you can go deeper into that as well. You can go add to cart, how many people added to cart, to how many people checked out. Sometimes the checkout's too long. But those are the main things from Facebook ads directly to a page. Those are the things that you really need to look at and work out at what stage in the journey that people are dropping off. So I hope that was helpful. Leave us a comment below if there's anything else that you use or any other metrics that you found that to be really, really useful. And I'll see you in the next video.